Hey guys, welcome to Entertainment Talk Nation. I'm your host Rob, and this video we're going to ask the question of Godzilla 2014. Will it be a worldwide event? Okay guys, welcome back. So, after obviously looking at the trailer and then recently having the interview with Patrick Sabangi, I hope I'm pronouncing that right, along with Damien over at G Universe, and then looking at the M.U.T.O website, it's very evident that this whole M.U.T.O creature thing is going to be a worldwide thing. Now, we all so far have assumed, and probably safely, that Godzilla is going to have a path of destruction from Japan to Hawaii to San Francisco. Now that we kind of know this is a worldwide thing, I'm wondering if we're going to see him in other regions of the world that perhaps we don't know about. Now, I know it's kind of hard to think about him covering all this ground in one movie, but in terms of the M.U.T.Os popping up all around the world, or at least maybe not the monsters, but things leading to the monsters, I think we're probably going to see some stuff that we're not expecting. I think there's a lot of things about this movie we're going to see that we're not expecting to see. I think there's a lot more covered about this movie than we think, because even Patrick said in the interview that he was getting the script on a need-to-know basis. That he always knew what he needed to do for his scene, but he never knew 100% what the scene was about. And I gotta say, obviously, from what I understand, I'm pretty sure that Halo dive scene takes place in San Francisco. A lot of people have been asking, well, why would they Halo dive? They can't beat the monster, or they can't do anything to the monster. I've said this many times ago. When that portion of the trailer first leaked on the internet, on the second trailer leak, they could very well be skydiving to do a rescue mission. Or you remember the bomb that they showed the military? Maybe they're going to go there and ignite the bomb. Who knows? Maybe the bomb was dropped, but it has to be ignited manually. Maybe they're doing a rescue mission. Maybe there's an important figurehead in the city they need to extract to finish a certain job. Who knows? It could be anything. But I certainly don't think they're Halo dropping to attack Godzilla. That's just ridiculous. Personally, if I was Halo diving in that city and I saw Godzilla, I would steer my parachute towards him, try to get on his dorsal fins and go for a ride. And if his dorsal fin lights up when he's trying to shoot his time of breath and I get fried, it's all good. That's the way to go. Anyway, so the thing of it is that I think it's going to be a worldwide event. I don't think we're going to see Godzilla worldwide, but I think there's a chance we might see him in other places other than Japan, Hawaii, and San Francisco. Now, where exactly? I don't know, because obviously it makes perfect sense. Japan, Hawaii, San Francisco. That's a perfect, path. But, it's not 100% certain that he won't make a pit stop at Australia, Okinawa. You know what I mean? But the thing of it is that if that is his concrete path, and if we have these M.U.T.O surfing up or popping up all over the world, are these M.U.T.O when they first come out, are they something that can be dealt with by the military? And I'm thinking that maybe that's the case. Maybe when they start off, the military can't handle them, but they get to be so many numbers, and perhaps they start to merge together and fuse, kind of like the little tadpole in Godzilla vs. Hedorah. I know I'm going there again. I know you guys are going to get sick of this, but again, these are the links I'm seeing, and these are the things I'm thinking about in my head. You look at the website for the M.U.T.O, they have little hotspots all over the world, which to me represents sightings or events M.U.T.O related. We know that there's a rumor of an evolutionary path that the M.U.T.O monster may follow, from an arachnid stage to ultimately a flying stage. And we do know that if you watch Godzilla vs. Hedorah, Hedorah has 4 stages of evolution. We also know that the way he grows is by consumption of pollution, and also melding together with other organisms that are exactly like him. And in that movie, the professor discusses with his son how Hedorah is originally from outer space, came from a certain nebula, arrived on the planet on a meteor, not necessarily during this movie, but maybe some millions of years ago, and pollution has been the event to trigger his growth. And his growth is a combination of consumption and fusing together with other organisms just like himself. Well, what if the MUTOs exercise a very similar ability? What if they have a form or a way of consuming not necessarily pollution, but maybe some other kind of resource? Maybe something in a mine. We all talked about the mine, the scene in the mine, and these monsters being subterranean. And the interesting thing is, you know that people, when they go mining, they go in to, get rare metals, jewels, whatever the case may be. Well, in Godzilla versus Hedorah, there was a special metal that was extracted from Hedorah's body. And I can't remember the name of it. I think it started with an H. Something Helidium or something like that. But if you have the movie, go watch it. They do discuss it. What if this metal is or a certain type of metal? It doesn't have to be that one. But what if they are subterranean because they consume some sort of resource from the earth, whether it's a mineral, some sort of crystal, or anything, or a certain metal. Who knows? But that is why they grow. They grow on consumption and fusing together with other MUTO, growing and getting bigger. Again, and this goes back to what I was saying, that I see certain links between the two movies. Not direct, and not meaning that Hedorah is going to be in this movie, but certain links, certain elements pulled out of the Hedorah movie being implemented into this one. And I think that's why you might start off with a worldwide event that would eventually lead to a more concentrated level of these monsters that are attracted to Godzilla because of his nuclear radiation. In Godzilla vs. Hedorah, even though Hedorah eats on pollution and stuff like this, he was also linked to nuclear radiation. Not that he ate it or consumed it, but there was an attraction there, and or there was a link, not an attraction. That was also part of the reason of his growth. He was also not directly nuclear, but it had to do with some of his. I can't remember off the top of my head, but not necessarily his growth, but it had to do with his birth. Pollution being involved. They were basically saying nuclear radiation or radiation fallout, or the lingering effects of radiation in the atmosphere have an effect, and that could also be part of his growth. But again, go watch the movies. Very interesting stuff. So maybe there's an attraction that the MUTO have to Godzilla. And Godzilla's on his natural path of destruction. He's not going after them. They're going after him. They maybe want to consume Godzilla. And Godzilla puts a pause on his destruction of the world to fight these monsters because they're attacking him. Very interesting. I mean, we've seen many movies where Godzilla has been the has been the core or the attraction of another monster to eat. Biollante wanted to consume Godzilla. There have been other Megaguirus tried to consume Godzilla. And what I mean consume, I don't necessarily mean eat, but just kind of steal his life force or his energy. It could be very similar in this movie. Hedorah wasn't very much like that. He was not about consuming Godzilla, but I just think there's so many little elements about Godzilla versus Hedorah that I kind of see, possibly see happening in the Godzilla 2014 movie, that I just think it's too interesting to ignore. So I think it's a worldwide event that starts off with the MUTOs being able to be handled by normal weapons because they start off small and not tiny, but I mean like maybe kind of like the size of the bugs in Starship Troopers. They're obviously bigger than humans, but they're not like building scale, and that normal weapons can take them out. But but as they get larger by either consumption or fusing or both, as they get larger and they evolve, they become more and more resistant to regular weapons. And then, obviously, the more they consume and the more they fuse, the less they are in numbers, but the larger they are as a monster in and of itself. And then they start to gravitate towards Godzilla while he's on his warpath, and then that's how we start seeing him fight. And that would, and I think the first time Godzilla meets a MUTO, possibly in the airport, is it just happens to run into it. That happens to be one of the hotspots that the MUTOs pop up at, and Godzilla runs into him and just crushes his whole world. So, but anyway, guys, that's just, again, more speculation. Just a couple of things that I saw related to the Hedorah movie again. Again, not 100%, just speculation and my thoughts on the whole worldwide event and why we may see it happen worldwide, but we may not see Godzilla worldwide himself. But again, just guesses, just speculation. Want to hear your thoughts? Please share, and I'll see you next video.